Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, welcome. Come on in. My name is Millie and I post 3 times a week on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. And the kind of content that I usually do is affordable and cruelty-free makeup reviews. I did this full face of makeup a couple of days ago with some new products from Studio London, Superdrug's own brand. And whilst I was in there purchasing those products, I saw these on the shelf and they just looked so fun and so cute, and of course they were so affordable. A new skincare range from Superdrug. So we're going to be taking all of this makeup off. I've literally just put it on. We're going to be taking it all off and seeing what this new range is like. Of course all of these products were incredibly affordable. I think they were about £3-4. I was about to say a pop. And this range is called Pop. I didn't even mean to be funny, but very affordable, and of course it's Superdrug's own brand, so it is of course a cruelty-free range as well. So we're going to be getting into that. I will leave everything linked down below and let's just dive on in. So we have got the Pop Clean Slate Cleansing Balm, which is purple. This has, it says on here actually, it's got blackcurrant oil to condition the skin. I don't think I have ever seen blackcurrant oil as a skincare ingredient, but let's get into this and see what all of this is like. If you are curious, I am 31. I have got 31-year-old skin. I have never had any sort of Botox or anything like that. I know, hard to believe, I look so young, but that is what's going on. I've got dry skin, sensitive skin, so I'm interested to see how fragrance this is going to be, because I really can't get on board with fragrance or anything like that. So that is cute. That is very cute packaging. I like that. Okay, so let's open it up. That is fragranced, but only very slightly. That really doesn't have a strong smell at all. So I'm just going to nip off and get a damp cloth so that we can take this off. I'm also not going to be putting this on my eyes. I will find something else to take off the eye makeup, but let me go and get a damp cloth and then we can continue. Okay, so damp cloth has been acquired. Let me get my hair out of the way, and I'm also just going to wipe off this lip because I don't need this smearing all over my face. I could just wipe that off with a bit of toilet roll and make a terrible mess, because why not? Let's get into the cleansing balm. I honestly thought that this was going to be very fragranced, because it literally says on the back of the box, keep out of reach of children, obviously. Goes without saying. This is not a food. Do not eat. So I was expecting it to smell edible, but it really doesn't. It is a very light scent. So let's scoop up that much. I think that that will be about the right amount. Let's see, and I will wipe this all over. Now granted, I don't have a great deal of products on my skin. I don't have like a foundation or anything on. It's just a glow filter primer sort of thing, but we will be able to see how this takes off like the brows and the rest of the lip. It feels like a very thin oil. I actually really like the feeling of that. That does feel lovely, like it's breaking down the product really nicely. Let's go through these brows as well. Let's get those off my head. The lengths that I'm willing to go to for a review. Let's see. I feel like that has taken off those brows really easily. Now it does say on the back not to put this on your eyes, so I'm not going to. I don't like the feeling of a cleansing balm on my eyes anyway. So now let's take all of that cleansing balm off my hands and let's see. Ooh, that has broken down all of that makeup really nicely. That lip has gone. That lip has gone. That really has broken down all of that makeup really easily. Okay. And I can't even smell that, honestly, as it is on my face. Like I say, I've got dry skin and sensitive skin, which you'll be able to see as I am like touching my face now. It is gonna go red, but I'm not noticing any sort of discomfort from the actual product, which is nice. Sometimes cleansing balms I feel quite stripping. This one does feel more hydrating. It does feel more gentle. I really like this one. Obviously this is just a first impression and I will have to keep on using these products, and I will come back and let you know how I feel about these at the end of the month. But I think that cleanser is really, really nice. That has taken all of that off really easily. Okay, and if you're wondering, I just get a big old multi-pack of white muslin cloths on Amazon. I don't pay a lot for them. I get them on Amazon and just throw them in the wash. I only use them once because there's bacteria on here now from your face. Only use them once and then throw them into the wash and you're good to go. But I really like that cleansing balm, actually. That feels lovely. So next up we have got a toner. This is the Good Glow toner with hyaluronic acid and pink pomelo extract, and that is what that packaging looks like. So with a toner you can put it onto like a cotton round, or you could just pour it straight into your hand and sort of press it into your skin. I prefer doing that because I feel like I get less wastage that way, because all of the product is going into my skin. So I'm just gonna leave my eye makeup on. I will take that off with a micellar water afterwards, but let's pour some of this into my hand. Okay, so it is just like a water toner. Ooh, that is quite heavily fragranced. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. That smells a bit sort of grapefruity. What's the benefit of that? I don't know. Does grapefruit have a skincare benefit? I suppose it's citrusy, so it might be brightening, which I suppose it is a glow toner. Okay, that feels almost thicker, sort of feels on my skin more like a milky toner, which they're a little bit thicker, a little bit more sort of cushiony feeling on the skin rather than something very watery. I like the feeling of that. I'm just very, very aware of that fragrance. What does it say on here? So, a gentle toner that soothes and hydrates, leaving skin feeling refreshed. I mean, my skin does feel soothed and hydrated. I'm just not sure on that fragrance. It might be pink pomelo that I can smell. It is sort of a little bit citrusy. It is like sort of fruity, so that might be what that is. Just says apply to cleansed dry skin daily, AM and PM. Okay. Yeah, that feels nice. It does feel hydrated. Like quite a lot of the time when I cleanse my skin, I immediately have to go in with something quite hydrating over the top because the cleanser feels quite stripping. I wouldn't say that this cleanser feels like that, but that feels really lovely over the top. So then we have got the Balancing Act Serum, which comes in a very interesting bottle. So it says that you have to press the bottom of it. So Balancing Act Serum, a lightweight hydrating serum to help support the skin barrier and leave skin feeling smooth and soft. I am all about the skin barrier. I love skin barrier boosting products. I think that's where a lot of my irritation comes from, where a lot of my dryness comes from. When my skin is very dry, I can feel that it's damaged, and that's when irritation occurs, and that's when I start to get spots and things. So let's see. Shake before use. Gently apply a small amount of product to clean dry skin daily. Okay, let me give this a shake. It sounds thicker in the bottle here as I'm shaking it. It does sound thicker, so let's take the lid off. Then it says you have to press this like squidgy bit at the bottom. Okay, let me... It's green! Percy, it's green. If you know that quote. Yeah, it's like a mint green colour. Okay, I suppose that would come from the avocado oil? Or maybe they just put a colour in it. Okay, so that does look thicker for a serum. Ooh, that smells cucumbery, which again, I don't love. Honestly, I would rather my skincare just had no fragrance in it at all. Than a artificially, like, it always just smells artificial to me, a cucumber smell. Oh, okay, but again, that feels nice and sort of cushiony feeling on the skin. I know skincare is so difficult because it's like the results over time rather than just a first impression, but hopefully you find this useful anyway. Okay, I feel like that has sunk in really nicely, but also it has sort of quenched my skin. I do feel like that is nice and hydrating. Yeah, I like it. I like that it doesn't look green. I like that it hasn't turned me green. Although I suppose there would be a benefit to it turning me green, because it would cancel out the redness. The redness! So, the last product is a moisturiser. This is the All A Blur moisturiser, and it actually said something about this being yeah, priming. So it says a lightweight priming moisturiser that hydrates and blurs the skin. Not something that I am generally looking for in a moisturiser. They did also have one that had an SPF in it, and I do believe it was an SPF 50. I didn't get that because I feel like I have got my SPF. I mean, I've got my whole skincare routine down, but I was excited about this one. So let's see. It's got this sort of packaging, which I feel like obviously is going to appeal to the perhaps slightly younger demographic who wants Drunk Elephant. I do like this packaging. I do find it fun. So let's... Percy, it's green. It's green. I should stop saying that because it's not relevant to the target market of this skincare. If you know what that quote is from. So that is incredibly green. That's a lot more green than the serum. So I can't tell if this is fragranced or if it's that serum still on my hand. I don't think it is, which I prefer. So, oh, got it on my nose. That's fine. Let's see. Okay, so I would say that this moisturiser is thicker than I was expecting it to be. With it saying that it's a priming moisturiser, I was expecting it to be more of like a water cream sort of feeling where you feel it sink in straight away. I feel like this, to me, feels like more of a night cream, which is strange that it has the call out of it being blurring. Does my skin look very blurred now? Do I want it to? No. But do I feel like that has blurred? No. But also, I do feel like it has taken down the shine from those two previous products. Which, if you're looking for a moisturiser to do that, fine. Not necessarily something that I look for in a moisturiser, but I do feel like that has sunk in really nicely actually. And it doesn't feel like it's sitting on top of the skin. I do feel like that has sunk in nicely. I like it. I like all of it. I like all of it like as a routine. Like I say, there were other products. I like these ones. I'm not mad at them. I feel like they have worked very well. I was expecting the fragrances to upset my skin and upset my eyes more than they did, but I'm pleasantly surprised at how little irritation I have got from those products. My skin feels really nice and hydrated, feels very clean from that cleanser, feels nice and hydrated. But yeah, it does almost feel a little bit matte. Like I can see how makeup would go over the top of this really, really nicely, this moisturiser. I can see how this would be a really nice base for makeup. So that is my review. I would love to hear if you have tried any of these products from the new Pop range. Obviously these are made for teenagers, obviously, and obviously I am not a teenager, but I appreciate good skincare and I feel like these are a really good standard just starting out skincare routine. I feel like these have worked really, really well. So if you've tried any of these, if you've seen them, if you've been excited by them, I want to hear what all of your thoughts are. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye bye.